Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here at this great event, and thank you for having me as always. Um, it's always a real pleasure to be here with a passionate group of Fibonacci and Elliott wave traders, because that's really my background. And as you know, or as you've learned in these last 2 days, the markets move in cycles. So trends, corrections, and the emotions that come with them. But often the challenge is applying the theory in real time with actual setups with clarity and confidence. And that's what we're going to be going to cover today. I'm going to show you how the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard and the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups takes the Elliott Wave principles and translates them into practical, actionable trade setups. So you don't have to be a consummate wave counter in order to do this. And you'll be able to master the trends and corrections in just minutes a day once you learn the setups. And today I will be offering the dashboard trial for $1 for a month with some great education included. So stick to the end to receive your $1 trial. And the topic for today is clarity and confidence in every Elliott wave cycle, master trends and corrections with the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard. Please read the disclaimer. You can lose money trading, and remember to practice with a demo or paper trading account with any new concept or strategy until you really get to know and understand the risk and reward potential. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Jody Samuels. I began my career as a professional trader on Wall Street and Bay Street, trading currencies for JP Morgan and managing positions that generated millions for the bank. Over the years, I've expanded into futures, stocks, and options. And today, my passion is teaching traders how to master the market cycles. I also wrote The Trader's Pendulum, The 10 Habits of Highly Successful Traders. In it, I describe 3 pendulums that every trader must manage. The market pendulum, which swings between trends and corrections. The financial pendulum, which governs risk, reward, and capital. And the emotional pendulum, which swings between fear and greed, patience and impatience. This pendulum framework, markets, finances, and emotions, it's constantly in motion, and it's at the heart of what I teach. And today, I'll show you how the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard helps bring balance to the market pendulum, turning chaos into clarity. Recently, my work has also been recognized in major publications, including USA Today and International Business Times. It's always an honor to be featured, but what matters most to me is showing traders like you how to apply these ideas in a practical way. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. As traders, we've all felt the emotional roller coaster that comes with market swings. And let me know if you can relate to this. One moment we feel like geniuses, and the next moment we're frustrated and second guessing ourselves. And that's pretty typical. So that's why understanding market cycles and timing is so crucial. The market doesn't move randomly, it follows repeating trends and corrections. And this was, there was so much research done in the 80s. I started trading in December of 79. So much research at the beginning. Are the markets random? Can you really see patterns? And yeah, I've been trading for a very long time now, and I can just say that, yeah, the markets have patterns that you can follow and latch on to. And when you have a structured roadmap and simple timing tools, trading becomes less about guessing and more about clarity and consistency. So here is the classic 8-wave market cycle, and this is the foundation for everything we'll cover today. Waves 1 through 5 form the impulse trend. Okay, that's your uptrend, strong directional movement. And then waves A, B, and C form a steep zigzag correction. And not all corrections are alike, but this happens to be a zigzag. And that's the retracement, the steep retracement before the next cycle begins. Now, here's the key. This cycle repeats across every market and every time frame, no matter what you trade and how you trade, if you're a day trader, a swing trader, a position taker. So if you're looking at a 5-minute chart of the S&P or the ES, a daily chart of Apple, or a weekly chart of Bitcoin, the same rhythm of trends and corrections unfolds again and again. Why? Because the markets are fractal. They repeat themselves. And if you can identify where you are in the cycle, you gain a massive edge. You stop chasing and start anticipating. This 8-wave market cycle is described, the picture on the right, is described in the Frost and Prechter book, The Elliott Wave Principle. And the mathematical calculations are credited to Leonardo Fibonacci, an Italian mathematician born in the 12th century in the town of Pisa. You all know him. He is most famous for his book of calculations. And it is said that while he was studying the Great Pyramids of Egypt, he discovered the Fibonacci sequence of numbers, which is a sequence of numbers after 0 and 1, where each successive number is the sum of the two previous numbers to infinity. We start by adding 0 plus 1 to get 1, then 1 plus 1 to get 2, until infinity. Practically speaking, we use this sequence of numbers to project market retracements and targets. And you can see all of these numbers here are numbers from the sequence. So this is all related. Fibonacci, Elliott wave, these are two sciences that we use in analyzing the market cycles. I just wanted to give you some perspective here. And this is where the wavy tunnel pro setups happen based on the 8-wave market cycle. And Warren Buffett, a contrarian, says, be careful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. So that when you look at this 8-wave market cycle up here at point T, this is where traders are just greedy, load up, optimistic, exuberant, thinking, okay, it's going to continue. There's no risk in being long up here. And then what happens? We start to have a major correction. And then down here, there's a lot of panic and discouragement, fear, and a lot of traders bail. We saw this major correction in April. And down here, this was very, very fearful time, right? And then what happened? That was the bottom, and then we started to move up. Before we look at the setups themselves, here's the DNA of the Wavy Tunnel Pro. Elliott wave gives us the rhythm of the market, the impulse and corrective phases you just saw. Fibonacci symmetry allows us to measure timing and price levels, and retracements and extensions, expansions, identifying and projections, identifying where markets are most likely to turn. And momentum gives us confirmation, showing us whether a trend has strength or exhaustion is setting in. Together, these three elements create a structured, rules-based way of reading markets. And from this DNA, we get the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups. So let me explain the Wavy Tunnel Pro to you, and you can set these moving averages on your chart. I've put them here for you to see. We have the 12 EMA for the filter. We have the 34 EMA on the high, low, and close for the purple wave. And we have the 144 and 169 EMAs for the tunnel. This is the original Wavy Tunnel Pro setup. And then we have the semaphores, which is this is the proprietary part. You can't really get that on your charts unless you subscribe, but you can certainly put the moving averages up and read the markets like I'm going to teach you today. And this chart is from the dashboard. Beautiful charts from the dashboard, and I'm going to show you the dashboard as well, and we can look for other setups. But these are the 5 core Wavy Tunnel Pro setups in the dashboard. So let's discuss them and see how you read the market cycle together. At the end of the trend, that would be here where we see the purple semaphore, we look for a price to wave or the fill or the PW setup. So the PW, the price to wave, is the move into the wave. That's what it is. The PW is the move into the wave. And that is the first move that happens for a potential retracement. So the characteristic of this is that price stretches away from the wave and signals exhaustion at point T. This is point T, this is point T. We have the market map below, and you can see the market map above. This is real price, and it's mimicking the 8-wave market cycle. And this is the beauty of it, that this is an Elliott wave based system. So the end of the trend. So here the market is stretched and we come back into the wave. Great. Okay, that's the first move. Then what happens is price is in the wave, and then we have a bounce. We don't always have a bounce. Sometimes we go straight down, but here we have a bounce. And when we have a bounce and price doesn't make a new high, or price fails to make a new high, then we're looking for it to roll over again and to move down to below the tunnel. And this is the fill the gap trade. The filling the gap between the wave and the tunnel. So you have the initial move down into the wave, then you have the bounce, and then you have the move down to the tunnel. And this is your zigzag correction. This is a steep retracement. And once you get here, we have our next trade set up. So these are the two end of trend setups: PW, price to wave; FG, fill the gap. And I found this just by using the dashboard. I said, okay, I want a picture of this, and I scanned and I picked this chart, Cheesecake Factory. Maybe because I like cheesecake. So this is your PW fill the gap, the end of the trend trade. And this down here is when traders get really panicked, and up here they're exuberant, just like we explained down from the 8-wave market cycle. Once the correction plays out in an ABC formation, this is a beautiful ABC setup, then the breakout 4 setup kicks in. This gives us a trend continuation trade. The market has corrected in a deep correction and is now ready to resume its move up. So I call this a breakout 4. It's not really a breakout trade. It's just a name. And it's funny, when I named these trades a long time ago, like I don't know how many years ago, 15 years ago, maybe not that long ago, 12 years ago, I didn't even, the breakout 4 is really the end of a wave 4, and what follows is a wave 5 move up. That's technically what happens in Elliott wave analysis. But when I named this, that's not what I had. I didn't name it. I didn't use a naming convention for the waves. It just so happened that that's what it was, which is amazing to me. So breakout 4 is the wave 4 to the wave 5 launch. And I have that under trend continuation. Breakout 3 is another trend continuation, a trend trade setup, but the breakout 3s occur during the wave 3 moves or during the strong trend moves. It's a breakout setup that happens in this phase of the market cycle, in the trend phase. So right here, and right here. And whenever price goes into the wave, or if it's a steep trend, it goes into the filter, that's your breakout 3 trade. And the scanner can scan for breakout 3 trades as well. So we have to be cognizant of where we are in the market cycle when we're trading. Okay, we don't want to load up here, and we don't want to go short down here, and we just have to be aware of the 8-wave market cycle, because the 8-wave market cycle plays out over and over again. There is another trade that we have in this scanner, in the dashboard, which is a sideways range bound, and that's the Royal Noble trade. And I don't have a picture of that right here, but it's when the markets are totally sideways and the market bounces between purple and grays gray, purples and grays. And that just, it's support and resistance. It gives you a way of playing both sides of the market, buying and selling. So instead of guessing where you are in the cycle, the Wavy Tunnel Pro gives you a roadmap, PW and fill the gap for the end of trend trades, breakout 3 and breakout 4 for continuation, and Royal Noble for sideways. And you can see this on your own. Okay, I've given you the moving averages. So let's look at some examples. This is a PW fill the gap trade, end of trend trade. And what happens at the end of the trend? We typically have divergence where, and I use the awesome oscillator for that. So divergence is when price makes a higher high and the awesome oscillator makes a lower high. The market is running out of steam. Okay, it's losing momentum. And this is just another eye-opener to say, okay, maybe the market is running out of steam and we are going to have this PW fill the gap trade. Very often we don't have it and the market just continues to move higher very often. I mean, we've seen it in the indices. So we have to be very, very aware that we could have a very long extended trend on this side of the market before we break down into a major correction. So we need to have confirmations in place that the market is indeed breaking down. So here you can see the market extending away from the wave. That's the PW, and we have the purple semaphore. And this tells us, like we said, that the trend is exhausted and due for a correction. And then the market bounces, right? It bounces, but it fails to make a new high and then continues on down. And that's our fill the gap setup. It's the second confirmation that this is over and that we are going to see a steeper correction down to the tunnel. So together, the PW and the fill the gap work as a 1-2 punch at the end of the trend. First the exhaustion, and then the failed bounce, and the failed bounce with the purple, blue, blue. And once we see that sequence, we can anticipate the correction down to the tunnel. So a purple, blue, blue, that's like a 1, 2, 3 reversal. And that's the confirmation that we need once we have a purple, blue, blue, or a move down and then a retracement failing to take out the new high, and we break down below this point, then we're targeting the tunnel or even below the tunnel. So the beauty of this is that it gives us a structured way to trade the market turning points rather than guessing or reacting after the fact. And we can use this setup on everything. If you're trading stocks, if you're trading futures, if you're day trading, if you're swing trading, on everything, the Wavy Tunnel Pro holds true. And there's a lot to say about it, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job at explaining it to you. Now, so far we've looked at uptrends, but the downtrend is also available to us. And on the left, we have a bullish PW fill the gap sequence. So here we have the purple, price goes above the wave, comes back into the wave, and then here we go, we have the move above the tunnel. And this is just a beautiful setup. So if you take a trade over here, you're targeting the tunnel. That's the initial move, okay? Will the market sell off from this point? I don't know. It could do, or it could continue higher and the wave can cross above the tunnel, and then we are in an uptrend. And then on the right, we have, now these charts are not, I got them from the dashboard, okay? So it's not that I have positions in them. I just took them from the dashboard as examples to show you. So this would be a bearish PW fill the gap where we have divergence and we have the purple, blue, blue, and then we trade below the wave and then down to the tunnel. So it's the same logic, but in reverse. These are just opposites. A bearish PW fill the gap sequence, price stretches too far above the wave, gives us a failed bounce, and then corrects down to the tunnel. What's important here is that they're not cherry-picked charts from textbooks. These examples came directly from the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard. The tool scans thousands of symbols daily, actually close to 5,000, and flags these setups automatically. All you need to do is review them, decide which trade fits your style, like which is the which trade you want to take. And this is how you move from theory to practice. The dashboard brings these repeatable setups to your screen every day across stocks, ETFs, futures, Forex, and even crypto. So you can set this up. I'd love for all of you to set this up on your charts, no matter what you trade, and start to look at the wavy tunnel in your own way, no matter what market or time frame you're trading. Now let's complete the story. We start out with the PW fill the gap, and then what happens? We come down to the tunnel, and this is the ABC correction where price consolidates, retraces, and prepares for the next move. Once that ABC correction is complete, we look for the breakout 4 setup. And this is our breakout confirmation that the trend is resuming. And this is it. And what I like to see is a gray. You're going to get a gray here, and then you want to get it. It's also a 1, 2, 3 reversal, gray, blue, blue. If price continues higher, great, and takes out this level, maybe that's the bottom. If not, if we take out this low, then this gray will repaint and we start the process again. So we are just that's why we need the confirmation in place. What do? I like to look at a 1, 2, 3 reversal before I would consider taking a trade. So the breakout 4 happens to be one of my favorite setup. Let's just review this now. First, trend is exhausted with the price to wave, and then we have a bounce. We fail to make a new high, and then we roll over, take out this low. It's a 1, 2, 3 reversal, and our target is the tunnel or below the tunnel and a gray semaphore. Okay, this is the ABC zigzag correction into the tunnel. Now, I don't have to be a consummate wave counter to tell you this. I'm not counting the waves internally, although I can, but I'm not going to, because the wavy tunnel shows me the waves. And that's really, I'm a trader first. I don't count the waves. I never did. I always had an Elliottician by my side. It's funny. When I was working at JP Morgan, we hired somebody from the Chicago Board of Trade, and he introduced us to Elliott wave analysis. And I really enjoyed that very, very much. And he would count the waves for us. And I was an interbank trader trading the British pound at the time. And, we were very too busy fielding, quoting prices all day long. So didn't have time to sit there and analyze the market. So he was our Elliottician on the desk, providing us the direction for the next move. And it was really grounding. It was great. I really enjoyed it. And I never looked back. I continued to use that. So I always had an Elliottician by my side. Even in my business, FX Traders Edge, we have an Elliott Wave Desk service, which counts the waves if you're interested. So, but the Wavy Tunnel Pro is a way of counting the waves without counting the waves. That's the tagline. So finally, we get down to the tunnel, and the breakout 4 kicks in, right? And the breakout 4, when we looked at the 8-wave market cycle, this is we're anticipating a move up from there. Okay? So this is a complete roadmap for you with very little guesswork. And as long as the wave is separating from the tunnel, this is where we're buying off of the wave for higher levels. And here we came down to the tunnel again, and that was a beautiful buy again. So, and like we said earlier, we have both buys and sells. Okay, on the left, we have the breakout 4 sell, And on the right, we have the breakout for buy. And this is the logic. End of trend, price moves, price to wave, fill the gap, breakout 4 to continue the trend. And on the right, price to wave, retracement, fill the gap, breakout 4 to continue the trend. So the market is exhausted to the top side. It corrects down to the tunnel and then breaks higher. And these are powerful buy opportunities because you're capturing the beginning of a new bullish trend. And you can express it any way you want. If you take options trades, you can take a vertical, you can sell a put, you can buy the underlying. There are many ways that you can express it as long as you use proper money management and risk management and keep your stop in place. That's very, very important. So the takeaway here is that the PW fill the gap sequence naturally evolves into the breakout 4 continuation trade, giving us a structured way to trade both turning points and the next leg of the trend. Here's a summary of what we just studied together. The 5 core setups in the dashboard, the price to wave, trend reversal, price returns to the wave for a bounce or a reversal. Okay, so it can move down to the wave and then make a new high, but that's, that of course. And then the fill the gap is the catch-up move. The market fills the gap to the tunnel. The breakout 3 is trend continuation, breakout in a wave 3 or a strong trend. And the breakout 4 is a wave 4 completion, end of wave 4, blast off in wave 5. And then the Royal Noble is a range bound, making reversal zones, mean reversion plays with structure. So these are the setups that I'm going to show you in the dashboard shortly. And this is what it looks like on a chart. And how I usually describe it is finding C for a breakout 4 trade. Gray arrow kicks off the trend. So it's finding C. Why? Because we have the end of the trend here, and then we have an ABC correction down. Now it's and finding C is finding that gray arrow when we move down to the tunnel or below the tunnel. And the same thing here, finding C. That's 1. And 2 are the breakout 3 trades, red and blue dots into the wave showing entry points. These are trend trades into the trend. And you can buy into the wave, or you can buy after the market pulls out and breaks out the previous high. So that would be a breakout. That's fine. Either way, either way is fine. You might want that extra confirmation. So this is 2, all of these buy points. And then number 3 is the purple arrow, which is the end of the swing. And then we start all over again. We go back to the PW fill the gap. So I think I've really rubbed in how to read the market map, right? So let's get to the dashboard. I want to show you that before we run out of time. Why did we build the dashboard in the first place? Well, we have our indicators on many platforms, and scanners on many platforms on MT4 for Forex, that was our first one, and it's fabulous. It's just fabulous. And we have our indicators on TradeStation, on NinjaTrader, on TradingView, and we have our scanners on TradeStation, on NinjaTrader, on MT4, and now we have the dashboard. So most traders face the same problems. If you trade stocks, there are simply too many charts to analyze. Even if you know what setups to look for, it's overwhelming to scan hundreds of markets. That means that you often miss the key setups or catch them too late. And when you don't have structure, you end up trading emotionally, reacting instead of anticipating. Without a clear roadmap, trading becomes stressful, or can become stressful and inconsistent. So these are exactly the challenges we want to overcome. And my solution is the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard. one dashboard, clean setups, real-time edge. We designed it to scan, right now it scans over 4,900 symbols daily, stocks, ETFs, futures, Forex, and crypto. And to flag the exact Wavy Tunnel Pro setups that we've been talking about today, PW, fill the gap, and the breakout trades. So instead of guessing or chasing or spending hours glued to the charts, you get a short list of clean opportunities for all of these setups, all in one place. So now let me show you what it looks like in action. I'm going to show you the dashboard. Here we go. So on the right, we have a chart. Let's put up Apple, one that you know. Okay. And here's the Wavy Tunnel Pro setup. Okay, we have the semaphores, and then we have the bungees, and we have the awesome oscillator. I am going to just remove these panes for a minute because I just want to show you how I look at the charts. The way I look at the charts is I put up I'm clicking up here on the wheel, and I want dual chart view. Putting dual chart view, and I like to look at the weekly and the daily. So that's what we're going to do. But so you can put one chart or you can put two charts. Now I also want to explain that this is end of day data. So you're not going to see today's price action. If you're looking at your own chart now, you're going to see at the close of business yesterday. But if we want to see the live data, we can. We can say live at bottom. So now we have live at bottom. It defaults to the hourly chart for Apple, and we have the daily on top and live at bottom. You can certainly put any time frame down here. I just have it defaulted to the hourly chart. Okay, so you can put the live data here. I don't. I typically have another platform that I'm looking at with the live data, and I keep the daily and the weekly up here. So let's just go back to that. I'm going to unclick live data. But while we're here, I just want to show you, you can change the theme, you can make it light, and this is the trade alerts. So you can, I'm going to show you how we can set up a scan, and then every night, I set up a trade alert so that every night I get an email with the different charts that appeared from my scan. So that happens automatically. So if I click on that, it says, do you want to, that's my email address. Do you want daily trade alerts by email? You can select yes or no. And the watch list that I've selected for the daily chart is this one. I have all of the Wavy Tunnel Pro watch lists set up. And then I just get it every night. I get updates to this. So that's fantastic. So let's just go back and change this, get rid of live at bottom. And that's what I wanted to show you there. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can move the chart across the whole screen, or you can move it back. Let's move it back so that we can look at the left part of the screen. So this is the end of day scanner. I'm going to click on this, and these are all of the columns. So we have the asset class, we have the name of the market, we have price, we have volume, we have percent daily change, the country if we want, the sector, the industry. I have these unchecked, okay? But I'll check them all off for you. Let's just check them all off, and we can just look at them. Market cap, that's my dog barking. Optionable, earnings date, ex-dividend date, dividend yield, and forward dividend. And then we have all of the Wavy Tunnel trades that we just went over. Okay, we didn't talk about trend daily and trend weekly. I'll tell you about that in a minute. That's a great filter that I use. We have the PW on the daily and the weekly, the fill the gap on the daily and the weekly, the breakout 4 on the daily and the weekly, and the breakout 3 on the daily and the weekly. So here I have everything checked off. Oh, and what's really important to me is if the stock is optionable, because I do options, so I want to see if it's optionable. So that's what you can get across the top. So if we want to, if we click on asset class, if you just want to see crypto, you just click crypto. If you just want to see stocks or forex or futures, you just click one of these. I'll just click crypto for a second so you see what I mean. So these are all of the crypto markets, okay, that it has data for. 50, 56, 56. So let's just go back. I'm going to click this yellow button and just say no filter. Okay. And then this is the name and this is the price. One thing that you can do with price, if you just want to see price greater, all of the stocks or instruments that are greater than, if you're doing stocks greater than $25 or greater than $50, you can do that. You can sort by that. Volume the same. Percent daily change, you can click on this column. You can see the biggest losers of the day, but these are penny stocks, right? In percentage, that's what it is, 35%. Can you imagine? Okay, I don't want to be trading those stocks. And these are all penny stocks, 400% in one day. Okay, let's make this price greater than $25. And that's, yeah. Okay, so this is the percent daily change. Still a very big percentage move in many of these stocks. Then we have the country and we have the sector, we have the industry and the market cap, whether it's optional or not. I can click on optionable and see which ones are optionable. Okay. And the earnings date. And then we have the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups. So no, and the dividends, if they're paying dividends. So you might be trading dividends. So you're going to be focused on that. So now let's uncheck these. We don't need all of these. I'm just going to uncheck these. And so that I can get to the Wavy Tunnel trades and show you. Yeah. I want to start with we talked about the PW fill the gap. Let's just go to the breakout 4 and the breakout 3 for a minute, and the trend daily and the trend weekly. The trend weekly, let's just click on an example here. Okay. The trend weekly, if it's green, it means that the trend is up. Same with the daily. So on this stock, both the trends are up, daily and weekly. And what that means is that the wave is above the tunnel. That's what simply it means. The wave is above the tunnel. If we click on the next one for the weekly, oh, we had a big jump here. The trend is, the wave is in the tunnel, so it's yellow. If let's just see, let's get a downtrend, okay, for both. See, trend, daily trend down, weekly trend down. That means that the wave is below the tunnel. The wave is below the tunnel. When I'm trading and I'm trading bullish stocks, I want the wave to be above the tunnel or in the tunnel. I don't want the wave to be below the tunnel. So that's going to be part of my filter. So let's set up a scan for the breakout 4, and let me show you what I mean. For the breakout 4 trade, I am going to say that I want price to be above $25. I want volume to be above, let's say 500K. I want it to be optionable. Let's just say I want it to be optionable. So I'm just going to check that. And that already, just by filtering like that, it already reduces the number of instruments from 4,971 to 659 before we even do the breakout. Okay. Then for the trend daily, I want the trend daily to be up or neutral. Okay. And for the trend weekly, I want it to be up or neutral. I don't want it to be down. That's what I'm setting up in my scan. And then for the breakout 4, I'm going to select, we're just going to look at the buys. Buy ready, buy signal. I'll tell you what the difference is shortly. And you have a choice. You can, if you just leave it like that, you're going to get 32 stocks. So now we've narrowed it down to only 32 stocks. If you say less than 20 candles, you have 18 stocks. And this is what shows up here. Okay. And I'll show you, there are some arrows and some diamonds here. So let's just have a look at the first instrument. So at the first instrument, we have said that we want the daily trend to be up or sideways. So the wave is in the tunnel, and that's perfectly okay. But on the weekly, the wave is above the tunnel. And this happened 3 candles ago. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And 3 candles ago, where price, let me just see if it did. Wait, yeah, wait, let me just, yeah, 3 candles ago where price closed. The breakout ready is when we get the gray semaphore. The breakout signal is when price closes above the filter line, the 12 EMA. Okay, so this is a beautiful pattern. Now this would have showed up, like I said, 3 candles ago for the breakout signal, or 7 candles ago for the breakout ready. I mean, this is a very nice setup. And I said it that I wanted to only look at the charts where the wave is above the tunnel on the weekly. We can look at another one. Okay, here's another one. You can see the steep correction. This went below the tunnel. Many times it does, but the weekly has our back. Let's look at another one. Okay, this we're not so we haven't started to take off yet. Remember, I said that I like to see a confirmation, gray, blue, and then I want us to take out price above here. Okay, I want to see it starting to move higher. Otherwise, I would consider that we could, make a new low. Now let's look at one of the diamonds. I just want to see, I want to show you that the diamond, it's one diamond. Okay. So the diamonds are the breakout readies when we just have the symbol. The up arrow is when we have the breakout, the signal, when price is already closing above the filter. So this is just setting up right now. If we look at crowd, this happened 15 candles ago. So this was the setup right over here on September 4th. Okay, right over here. And then we look what happened since. I mean, that was a beautiful signal. And the weekly had our back right over here. So that's beautiful. Just a gorgeous move. Okay, up $40. Let's look at another one. Yep, same here. A mat. Now, this happened 16 candles ago. So you're not going to, it happened 16 candles ago when we had this signal. So I think you get the picture. Now you can add a dynamic watch list. If we add a dynamic watch list, you click on this and we enter a name and you create it. But I've already created a bunch of dynamic watch lists. And the one that I created here, yeah, I think, yeah, okay. I think I did it a little bit differently. Here I have volume greater than 1 million, but I think we set it up greater than 500,000. It's really your preference. So breakout 4 daily, buy signal and ready, less than 20 candles ago, greater than $25, greater than 1 million in volume. And this is what I have coming to me. No, this is what I set it up twice because I was teaching it. This is what I have coming to me every night. It's exactly the same scan, okay? But I just set it differently. Breakout 4, volume greater than 1, price greater than 25, options, okay? So every single night I get an email with these setups. So that's terrific. And if we at this point, what I'd like to do, let me look at the chat box to see if there are any comments or questions. Let's see. Oh, I see that there are a few questions. Oh, there are lots of questions. Okay, so let me answer the questions before we move on. Those dots, are they manually added or is it automated by the software? It's automated by the software. All of these dots and diamonds, these are the semaphores, and the settings are like, we created the settings, we tested it over, a lot of data, and we haven't changed the settings once we set them, we keep the settings. How does this impact the win rate? How does it help reduce drawdowns? Are there stats on before, after, or with or without performance? All right. How does it impact the win rate? That's all about money management and trade management. So that is a whole other topic. When you take one of these trades, you have to set a stop loss, and you have to determine what is the size of your loss going to be. And you've learned from many educators that you want the size of the win to be greater than the size of the loss. Okay, because then you're going to have a positive performance. So I can work with you on that. We can work on that. I mean, many students ask me about position sizing. So that's really a matter of preference for you. Okay, it doesn't help reduce the drawdowns. It helps reduce the size of the loss. And I can't tell you the statistics on, I did a couple years ago. I ran it and about to see what the win rate was with the breakout 4 setups, but the market cycle was different then, and it was like 80%. Now I haven't run it in a while, so I can't tell you exactly that it's 80% because we're in a different part of the market cycle now. Like, it changes. So I don't want to say, oh yes, I ran it and it's 80% profitable, but I ran it a couple years ago, and that's what it was, the breakout 4 trade. So I'm not going to, say that that's still good today. Why are currencies no longer a trading thing? I don't know I think they still are a trading thing, but now a lot of people that traded currencies are now trading futures, and they're trading stocks as well. Okay, and if you would like me to if there are any instruments that you want me to look at, now's the time to post them in, and we can look at it together and analyze it together. So let's see, what else can we do here? I'm going to show you a way to look at the very strong stocks. I'm going to click on PW and price to wave, and I'm going to click on sell ready, sell signal. And these are the really strong stocks. Hang on a second. Something's not right because I forgot to take off the filter that I had already. So let's do this again. Let me just show you something. Okay, so we have 1,420 strong stocks. Let me just show you what what this means. Okay, on a second. I want to move it over so I can see the, okay, here we go. And I just want this to be up. Up. Okay. So now if we go to the right, this is showing us the strong stocks. Now, why don't I just, okay. So this is showing us the strong stocks, and two things can happen here. We're in the wave. This can be a buy, or we can move up, fail to make a new high, and then we're going to roll over and come down. So two things can happen always. All right. So there are many ways to use this scanner, and the setups that I taught you are all available on the scanner. Let's just go back to the presentation. Okay, actually we have a few requests. So let me just show the requests. Coin. We'll just do the requests, and let's look at coin, and we'll just analyze it together. We'll just take two requests and then we'll go back to the presentation. So this is very interesting. First, we look at the weekly, and the wave has our back on the weekly. Now, we're on the weekly. Price has gone down into the wave and it's retraced, and we have to, make sure that we don't go below this low, because if we do, then we're going to have a steeper correction down to the tunnel. On the daily, the same story. On the daily, we don't have a noble semaphore yet. So I like to see, when we have a correction, I like to see a gray diamond. So I would expect that we will see a gray diamond. So in other words, move a little bit lower before we move up again. TTD, and then we'll just get back to the, okay. So the trade desk. Yeah, I'm not going to touch this one because the wave is below the tunnel on both the weekly and the daily. I don't trade those stocks. Okay, I want to trade healthy stocks. That's what I want to trade. All right, let's move on, and let's just go back to the presentation. Okay. Let me just move the comments over here so I can see them. Okay. And there's just one more question. Is it reliable for day trading, like on a 1-minute chart? This is an end of day scanner. So if you're want to trade on a 1-minute chart, you have to get you have to get the indicators on MT4 or TradingView or NinjaTrader, TradeStation, where you can get 1-minute charts. This is just end of day. Okay. So now you've seen how the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups work, and you've seen how the dashboard finds them in real time. And the choice is simple. Okay. The choice is simple. You can keep trying to do this manually, scanning chart after chart, hoping to catch the right setups, or you can let the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard do the heavy lifting for you. So you'll get full access to the dashboard, alerts, watch lists, and the private Discord with bi-weekly training. And for those who take action today, I'm including something extra, a one-on-one coaching session with me to help you get set up and accelerate your progress. But this is a fast action bonus. It's only for the first 10 traders who sign up today. And that's my way of rewarding action takers and making sure you get the personalized support you need to hit the ground running. And once you sign up, for $1, for the month, you will have immediate access to all the training for the dashboard and the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups. And to make it easy, we've created this special offer that you can try it for $1. So for less than a cup of coffee, you can experience how this tool can transform your trading workflow. And if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, you won't renew it after the end of the month. It's normally $97 a month, but this actually renews for $79. Okay. We haven't changed the pricing yet if you sign up on this round. So here's an example of Microsoft. This was the breakout 4 trade. You recognize it. 2 months later, up 37%. And now, of course, it's higher. It's up here. Here was another one that came up on the scanner, a 31% return in 2 months. So it's just, yeah. So if you're wondering whether this approach is really making waves in the trading world, I'm proud to share that it's been recognized by not just one, but 2 major publications. USA Today featured the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard as a consolidated hub for market scanning, strategy training, trade plans, and more. And the International Business Times highlighted my journey and the unique missing link I've developed to help traders move from confusion to confidence. Being featured in both publications reinforces what I've been showing you today. This dashboard isn't just another trading tool, it's a recognized solution that's transforming how traders approach the markets. And the best part about it is you don't have to take my word for it or even USA Today. You can try the dashboard yourself for $1 at wavytunnelpro.com/join. But the truth is, it's more than just a tool. The dashboard is part of a complete system designed to help you trade the market cycles. And here's what you get. First, easy to follow video lessons, so you'll understand exactly what you're doing and why. Second, market roadmap training, where you'll learn step-by-step how to read the market like a pro, similar to what we've done today. Third, live coaching twice a month, where we review current setups together and I answer your questions directly. And finally, private community access, where you can connect with like-minded traders, share insights, and grow on the same path. So today, if you sign up, you'll get, it's $1 for a month, and then it renews at $79 a month. So here's your next step. You can just scan the QR code or go to wavytunnelpro.com/join to start your $1 trial. And this gives you full access to the dashboard, the training, the coaching, and the community. Remember, it only takes 1 or 2 clean setups and confidence to change your confidence in your trading results. And this dashboard will help you find them quickly every single day. And they're all Elliott Wave setups. This is the culmination of my work going back 40 years. To wrap it up, Elliott Wave gives us the map, and the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard gives us the compass. Together, they turn market cycles into clear, actionable opportunities, helping you trade every trend and correction with clarity and confidence. And if you have any questions at all, you can always reach me directly at Jody at FXTradersEdge.com. And I hope you enjoyed today's presentation.